Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the Lullaby Beneath the Earth, an Old Gods of Appalachia actual play. I am your guide and guardian, Faye, also known as Gothic Fairy or Gothic Fairy Cosplay, and these are my lovely players and victims. Um, I'll start up in this corner that I see. Haley, you get to go first. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Haley. I go by Haley Rosie on everything. I will be playing Baby. And fun fact about Baby is that they really care for the canary that they take down in the mines with them, like it's a pet.
Next is Pooja.
Everybody, I'm Pooja, usually found on the internet as either Pooja or Pajabrawaki, depending on how early I got to the site. And my pronouns are she, her, they, them, but I answered anything. And my fun fact about Grauman is, for someone who makes a lot of tea, not a big fan.
Ooh. Then next is Val.
Hello, everybody. My name is Valiant Dorian. I use him, his pronouns. You can find me all around the internet at Valiant Dorian or at Otso Spirit Bear. Please enjoy that lovely treasure I just set you on. Tonight, I have the distinct pleasure of playing Stag, who uses she, they pronouns. And a fun fact about Stag for someone who is as stone cold as she is, she really likes hosting and cooking for folks and feeding them.
Aw.
That's my
And
fun
last but
fact.
and last but not least, Kit.
Hi, my name is Kit. You can find me at the nearest Taco Bell or usually at Kit as well as basically everywhere. I am playing Nellie or Avenel, and my fun fact about her is if she were to hear it, she would absolutely have an emotional breakdown to Bo Burnham's Inside.
Mm.
Respect.
Yeah,
Uh
don't we all?
Awesome. Okay, before we start playing, I would like to say that the world that we will be telling our story in is an alternate universe of 1907 in the Appalachian Mountains, specifically in South Carolina. We are coming at this from a place of love for the culture and the people of the area, but this is also, of course, a fictional representation of this place. So excuse our occasional inaccuracies for the sake of the story. And as well, apologies, but this session will include general themes of horror and suspense, as well as darkness, claustrophobia, bugs, characters with compulsive behaviors, gore, and worms in places you wish that there were not worms. Not all of these things might appear in this session, but thought I'd generally shout out a lot of these things. Okay. Are we ready? Okay. It starts on the edge of winter. You can feel it in the air as you wake up, Avenel. That the sun is out, but and there's like the promise of warmth behind it in the way that like there's still so much snow on the ground, but it's enough that like you can open your coat while you're walking. In the day before, your father had a request of you to try and go down to the market. He tried to give you a list of things, but you narrowed it down to one or two things that you could grab: fresh linen and flour. As you walk down to the town, what does Avenel look like?
Yeah, so Avenel is a very dainty looking girl. She has this pretty pink coat on and a little pink dress underneath that's got nice laces. She has her hair pulled up in a very, very distinctive kind of bun with some slight ringlets coming down at the sides. She looks pretty and pristine. She's got these nice white kid gloves on them that look very well worn, but completely spotless of any dirt or debris. That suggests that they're very old, but at the same time, very, very well taken care of. She has a bright kind of smile that can be infectious to some, but despite all this, she has very, very thick, heavy makeup and slightly more sunken in eyes than one would generally expect someone of this disposition to have. But yeah, bright, nice cheeks, and just kind of swinging back. Oh, and also has just a really really large bag for some reason that she kind of is just holding like a carpenter bag, but just this thing that's just absolutely stuffed, a ludicrously capacious bag, if you will.
Um, yes. You start walking down to the town, and it's early enough in the day. It's like a Friday. It's early enough in the day that like not a lot of people are out, but enough people who like regularly are running errands or maybe want to get some stuff done are out and about. And there's like a small sort of general store that you've gone to like once or twice, not often, but you know it, so you start to head towards there. And is there anything else you do as you're walking towards there, or are we just in there?
I think even though the general atmosphere says that the coat can be open, I think that she bundles it up a little bit more as she steps inside. Um, you would think that it being so cold outside and probably warmer inside that it would be the reverse, but she tends to take an extra second before stepping inside.
Mhm. Um, inside isn't someone you're particularly familiar with. It's someone who's like enough that like you're in a small town, you know her face, you might not remember her name right away. But she looks to you and goes, "Oh, Nellie,
Oh,
you're
hello,
in.
friends.
Hello. Do you need help finding anything?"
Oh, well, I was just coming down to see if you had any fresh linens, and then maybe also just finding a little bit of flour.
All right. Well, we got some flour in the back. Linens, there's some fabric over there. If you're looking to sew anything, or are you looking for just straight bed sheets?
Oh, I think it was mostly for some. There was a nice little tablecloth. Ours is getting a bit old. Needs a bit refreshing.
All right. All right. You go ahead, get that. I'll head back for the flour.
Wonderful.
Um and then we're actually going to slip away there for a second to see someone else waking up. Stag in your house. Um Similarly, there is that warmth behind the sun and the sort of frost on your windows that sort of creeps into your house a little bit. I feel like that sort of creeps into your bones a little bit before you're fully awake of like you shiver and then you wake up.
Absolutely. Stag flutters her eyes open, and we see a puff of air, of heat, leaving her breath as she feels the chill. They're used to the chill. It's been their morning companion and a natural alarm clock. And as they peel themselves off of the really kind of like thick pelt and hides of this makeshift bed, we see Stag, who is a tall, muscular woman with warm brown skin. She has very, very sharp features and a proud nose. And as she looks out to the frost in the window, she narrows her dark eyes and her strong brows that frame her face and walks towards a very old, very worn, well loved like heat stove and plucks a large like chunk of log and just tosses it in and then sets a fire so that the house starts to warm up, and there's this dim orange light in the corner that slowly spreads to the rest of this kind of small humble wooden cabin. She has a shaved head, as now that the darkness has been illuminated, and we actually see her facial scars illuminated in the light. There's some light scarring on the sides of her face, down past her nose and past her lips. She's a dark, intense woman, and not even the greetings of the early morning would shake that. And she walks towards the corner of the room and immediately gets to work, putting on her rugged hunter's pants, a thick jacket with lots of pockets on either side, and she buttons it down, puts on her thick hide of a thick hide hunting boots and immediately starts like picking up her antler hilted machete, an old gift, and she plucks it onto her belt, ties up her boots, grabs her bow, and I think she just grabs a quick piece of like this a little package that's wrapped at the top of a wooden table of what seems to be perhaps her breakfast that she might have prepared the night before. And she grabs
Mm,
it, stuffs it into a pack, and gets moving.
okay. Are you going in any particular direction? Are you heading towards town or more the woods or maybe someone
She's headed
else?
to the woods. She's headed to the woods, I think. She's going by her daily routine of ensuring that certain locations are secure, but on her way there, acquiring items in the forests that folks in the towns have ordered, whether that is pelts that she had already made the night before, whether it is game for them to feed their families, or logs of wood so that they may keep their homes warm.
Excellent. Okay. You are going on your way. Do you happen to be near the bone tree?
I think she would make her way there soon. Yeah.
Okay. A particular thing is the bone tree. For anyone who would be unfamiliar with it, something about the town is that one of the defining features of anyone passing through or navigating a a notable feature is a tree that sticks out of the ground in a certain way. It's almost dizzying to look up at the branches. Everyone doesn't really talk about it, but you know, kids are always goofing off, daring each other to touch it, saying that they did touch it. No, really, my whole hand. But you can always really tell who has. The sort of look in their eyes, the sort of dull look as they look back towards the direction that they do know it is. The tree is white, almost like it's been stripped of bark, like it's been struck by lightning. And to be fair, it does get struck by lightning fairly often on a cloudless sky, but we don't talk about that. Something else that is, of course, also notable, but not nearly as notable as the tree itself, is the dirt around the tree, which always has a slightly freshly churned sort of texture to it, like someone's just run a plow. Something very soft and warm about it, even on this edge of winter. Sometimes people say that if you plant something in the dirt, you can get things. There's a cost, and you do pay, but you can get things. Do you check the dirt or anything?
I think for sure Stag checks the neighboring area. I think it's almost like a routine for her. She first checks the kind of like outer encirclement around the bone tree to make sure that one, there aren't any kids or teenagers playing the fool early in the morning. Having dares, I'm sure there's been an incident at one point where Stag found a teenager like half frozen to death because they were dared to like nap close to the bone tree or something ridiculous like that.
Mm,
So she starts from the outer reaches and then like gets closer and closer to see if there's anyone hovering near the bone tree. Because usually there I think it's true that if there were anyone to approach the bone tree, it is usually at the break of dawn or at the hushing last whispers of dusk. It is when they expect no one else to be there, and that's usually when Stag is there to
that's true.
hopefully give them one last reminder before they make their choice. And yeah, once those first two encirclements are clear, then she enters the region of the bone tree. I think there's almost a ritual to it. The way that she enters, it's almost like she's asking permission before looking around, before even entering almost like the breathing space of this bone tree. It's a technique her mother taught her to watch and wait. If it's too windy, stay back. If the branches rustle too much, stay back. If it's silent, you are allowed to enter. And once she receives that confirmation, she steps in and will check. I don't think she's trying to dig anything out from the dirt. She's just going
Yeah.
to see if it's
It's
disturbed.
generally not a thing you do. Once you make the deal, you've made the deal.
You made a deal, and
You
Stag's
you
never going to
can't
make a
think
deal.
yeah, you can't think of anyone who has made a deal and then tried to dig their stuff back out or anything.
Mm. Yeah, no. She's just going to see if it's been disturbed, and if it is, how recently.
Could you give me a task difficulty of 1 roll?
Task difficulty or one? Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. All right. I will. Yeah, no worries. I
For
don't even need to use effort.
anyone who isn't familiar with the cipher system, the sort of style of the cipher system is to sort of there's 10 levels of task difficulty. The general way to know what the DC is to multiply the task difficulty number by 3. So I say it's task 1, so you have to roll higher than a 3.
I did indeed roll higher than a 3. It's a 16 on the die.
Yippee!
I love that for me.
You Yeah. Would have been awkward for the plot if you're like, "No, it's
Well,
fine."
first roll, task difficulty of 1. I have to hit a 3 or higher. I failed. That would have been an ominous start to this.
Yeah. What you don't see, but what you do see actually, is you see something that looks like a few different spots. You haven't been out here in a few days, but also
Hmm.
there's been like a cold snap. Not a lot of people have been out in the last few days.
I was not expecting anyone to come here, even if. Hmm.
Mm.
A
But
few
mm,
spots?
yeah, winter is the time of desperation. It looks like you count, there's 4.
She kisses her teeth, um, and makes a mental note to herself to expect. What is usually the regret rating, would you say, guide, of
Mm.
in my experience?
There's definitely, like, a solid, like, 50-50 of, like, people who were like, "Yeah, this is tough, but it was worth it," and then other people were like, "Well, this has ruined my life."
All
Um,
right.
with that high of a roll in task difficulty, roll a D4 and see you can definitely tell what one of the objects is. It isn't fully covered up.
I'm gonna roll a d4. All right. I only have my d20 out. What? That's a
Wha-
1.
Oh, you see it looks like a few fingers of a glove sticking out of the ground.
Can I have an idea of, like, is this some sort of like a mitten or like a hunting
Um,
glove?
it looks like a pretty nice. It looks like the color of the gloves might have been like lighter. Like they're pretty covered in dirt, but like you can see spots of like lighter leather on them.
Sorry, my son has things to say. Um, Stag sees that, and I think there is a shadow that kind of like creeps overhead across their brow, but there's nothing they can do. The deal has been struck. The choice has been made. If there's any loss here, it is on the shoulders of that person who made the deal, and on the shoulders of myself for not stopping it. Stag sighs, readjusts the like strap across her body. If there's nothing else within the immediate vicinity that like catches my attention, Stag will start making the rounds to the deliveries. There's probably a
Mm.
house just down the hill here that requires wood for their hearth.
Yeah, definitely. And as we move away from there, we move towards baby waking up. Usually you get up fairly early, something like the crack of dawn almost. Um You'd think that Renee would be up first, but it is usually Daryl, who's awake and more sort of moving around, and it's the sort of, like, creaking of the floorboards in the house that definitely, like, get you, like, back to awareness first before you feel, like, the warm hand on your shoulder going, "It's time to get up."
Mhm.
And as you wake up, what does baby look like?
Uh, baby. Usually, the only thing that you'd really be able to tell about what baby looks like is that they're mostly perpetually dirty in some way. Lots of dust from the mines, grime in general. Nails have never been cleaned before, ever. And even when sleeping and even when being taken in by Renee and Daryl, the grime just never really comes off baby. They're they actually probably do have PJs, pajamas, something a little more comfortable to sleep in at Renee and Daryl's place. Uh,
Mm,
so that's when they'd get up, get changed into the same work clothes that they've been wearing probably for a very long time.
yeah.
No need to change what's not broke.
Yeah.
So,
And it's been broken plenty of times, but Renee has mended it to hell and back.
mhm.
Um, it's like the ship of Theseus overalls, like just um
Uh-huh.
and you shift on your worn work boots as Daryl shifts on his old and worn coat, hands you a lunchbox that Renee prepared the night before. Um and you sort of shift out of the creaking house down the worn path towards the mines, and you fall
Mhm.
into footstep with your neighbors, your friends. Your friend Leo falls into step next to you as well, and he like knocks a shoulder into you and sort of goes, "Did the wind like keep you up last night, or was that just me?"
I think it might have just been you. Uh,
Mm, bad luck.
yeah. Nothing
Mm.
rattled, right?
Nothing more than usual, I think.
It's good.
Hmm. Yeah,
Window swinging open at night's bad luck, so.
yeah. Daryl sort of leans over, been a bit quiet, and leans over and goes, "How's your uncle doing?" And Leo now quiets a little bit and goes, better, I think. Um, yeah, I think he's doing better. Um, good as he can be. Yeah.
Yeah, wind didn't keep him up either then. Or
No, no, he slept. I think he was coughing less.
that's good. Needs all the rest he can
Yeah,
get.
yeah, yeah. Um, he sort of quiets down a little bit after that, and normally Daryl would fill the silence a bit, but it seems like he's sort of drawn back in thought as well as you're sort of making your way down the path. And he
Uh,
sort of, "Hmm?
uh,
No, you go."
yeah. uh, Baby's gonna hold Leo's arm a little bit. He'll hold him back a little bit.
Mm,
Uh, Leo, you wouldn't do anything stupid, right?
Listen, okay, I went to the doctor, and after I went to the doctor, remember, I went to the doctor. I did go visit the witchy woman, the
Uh,
uh Thistle or something. I don't know. Uh
all
I've heard a
right.
few people call her Rosemary. I'm not sure. Um
An herb.
I an herb. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um but I went to her and asked for her advice too, talk to experts and all that. But I mean, she said the same thing. It's gonna be fatal. It's what happens to summon the mines. But she did give me a poultice. Use the steam. It'll help clear it up a little bit, sort of numb him a little bit. Um, so there's that.
You know what I mean, though, when I say do something stupid. You can get whatever herbs you want from whatever herb people you want to get them from, but you know what I mean when I say do something stupid.
Give me a level 3 roll. It's intellect. So what
Okay.
you're trying to pass is the DC of 9.
Yeah.
And you can like spend points in your pool to try and lower that if you want.
Well, good thing I got a 12.
Hmm. Leo looks at you in the eyes and goes, I wouldn't do anything too stupid. And you know in your heart, yes, he would.
I'll just have to take your word for it.
My word's good as gold. Or good as coal as we're concerned, you know?
All right, just let me know if you need anything.
Of course.
Mhm.
And he strides forward a bit to go talk with the foreman as you near the almost carved out scoop that is this mine that riddles through this mountain. This town is a mining town. Recently, there has been rumors, a few people talking about how it seems like there's a railroad man who's come by and started talking about buying out houses, possibly buying out the mine, try and go through the mountain. You're not sure about that, but there was someone you do remember at your door last night. Might be something to think about. And as we shift away from there, we meet our final member, Grommen. Grommen, your house is almost unnaturally, like, warm. In the face of, like, this is the dead of winter, not dead of winter, edge of winter. But, like, frost is on your window, and yet you wake up and you're not like sweating or anything, but you're not cold. There's no mist in the front of your face as you open your eyes. What does Grommen look like?
Grom, like a lot of other people at this time, looks to us to be kind of dirty. Grommen does bathe in the river, but it's a as needed thing, not a what is hygiene at this time. But to look at her, she is wearing layers and layers of thin clothes. That it seems to be when something gets tattered, she just throws another layer on. The layers are all in different shades of brown, green. It's hard to tell what they once were, but you get the feeling that they are derived from natural sources. But there's enough layers on Grommen to where she's pretty shapeless under there. You cannot tell whether she's big, she's small. You have a vague idea of her height just because there's a limit to how high shoes can be back then. So you have the guess that she's probably around somewhere between 5'5" and 5'8", but with long dark hair that goes almost mid back and looks like it has been kind of partially braided at times, but if those fall out, whatever, it's not my problem. So it's kind of mix of braids and loose hair, and a face that is brown, but it's unclear whether it's from melanin or the sun, and an age that you cannot determine. Could be anywhere between from early 20s to late 40s, because it's just it could be age or the sun. It's just really hard to tell, and that's how she likes it.
Mm. As you get up and go about your morning, you notice something you've probably put off is like you're fairly like self-sufficient, almost completely. And what you can't get, you usually get from Stag. But there is one thing that you did start to have recently that maybe you just it was a gift from one of the miners who came and got fixed up a little bit, but you can't really get coffee anywhere but the general store.
Gromit is very disappointed by this, especially because they have been trying different combinations of mushroom roots to see if you can replace this coffee situation, but nothing has. It don't stand up, y'all.
Yeah.
And so, very reluctantly, she throws on a tattered coat made of 4 coats and pulls down throws a hat over her head to kind of pull down low over her eyes and just begins the trek into town.
You walk into town, and the path that you take is like almost very roundabout because there's no path that you've tread often enough to make through the snow. So you sort of commandeer and loop around. And as you go down, you notice like people turn their heads at first and then distinctly look away so that they are not staring. But there is a sort of trail of whispers that carry on the wind a little bit. As you enter the general store, you see one other person in there so far. And it's quiet. The bell sort of rings as you enter, but no one's come out just yet. Nelly, you see Gromit.
Oh, hi there. Sorry, the person's just in the back for a few minutes. Just getting me some flour.
Gromit nods and then, yeah. Is this a general store where you have to give your list at the counter and they get it from the back, or can Gromit shop a shelf?
It's mostly, if it's like coffee, flour, sugar, like things that are in amounts and can be scooped, that's like take it to the counter.
Okay. Gromit will just nod and stand there.
I think Nelly isn't staring out of like a weirdness or an impolite, but just seems to be making eye contact with you because that's eye contact is polite and it's nice, and so is just trying to like be polite. I really
Gromit's
like
not
your...
blinking at you.
Okay. I really like your hat. You know, it's very nice, and I bet it gives you lots of sun protection. I wonder if it would cause any kind of bounce back with the snow and stuff, but you look lovely.
See, fine.
So what are you here for? You know, I'm just getting some flour and some linen and doing that kind of shopping, but I feel like I don't see you in town too often.
Try to stay away. And Gromit's looking at the door to see if the person's gonna emerge anytime soon.
There's you hear like a sneeze, and then like around the corner is like a sort of older lady in like a slightly like faded patterned floral dress with a collar, and she sort of looks up with like a baggie in her hand and goes, oh, hello.
Gromit's
Nelly.
gonna place a very battered tin on the counter and not say anything because presumably this person knows when Gromit's here.
Right. Oh, right. Well, Nelly, here is your bag of flour. Did you choose out your linens?
Yeah, I was thinking of going with like the pretty blue one.
Excellent, excellent. I will be right back and help you with that. I'll fill your can. Coffee? Yes. Just checking.
Yeah.
Yes. Excellent. Okay. I'll be back in a jiffy. And she like walks like a little quickly into the back and leaving you two alone again. But Nelly, now you do see that like next to like the stack of linens on the shelf, there is like shears for like definitely specifically for the fabric.
Oh.
So you do
Oh.
need to measure and cut it yourself.
Oh, okay. That's not a problem. Well, is there any measuring kind of things around this store
There's
or?
Yeah, there's probably like a pull out sort of table that you can like
Okay.
measure it and like fold it out.
Sure. Yeah, I'll grab that and take it down. And as I'm doing that, I'm kind of like looking over my shoulder and seeing. So coffee, that's really exciting. I've been trying to get my daddy off of coffee as much. I've been trying to tell him that tea is something that it just seems to keep him a little bit more lively throughout the day versus just getting that big spike in the morning.
Good for your heart.
Coffee or tea?
Both.
Oh, that's really exciting. I
Listen,
didn't know
there are
a lot
studies
about
on
that.
this, okay? Don't come at me, Val. I see your face.
I think just continuing to kind of try to
Yeah.
well, that's really interesting. I didn't know anything about that. I've been telling him that he needs to be taking care of his heart. He works down in the mines. Well, kind of. He's kind of the foreman of the mines. He does a lot with them though, and as you get further and further down, after a while, it feels like you're just breathing in all that soot and that dirt and debris. And I wish that he would take better care of himself. But do you have any ideas? What else can I do to make sure that his heart stays nice and healthy?
If he's in the mines, you should let the man have his coffee.
Well, that's fair enough, I guess. What's your name, by the way?
Hyacinth.
Hyacinth. Well, Hyacinth.
No,
it's
actually call me Cherry.
Oh, okay, Cherry. Well, it's very nice to meet you. That's a very pretty name.
As you're in this conversation, you do begin to hear the steps of the woman coming back. And Nelly, as you sort of turn back to just check the straightness of your fabric, you notice that the shadow underneath feels like it's not quite lying straight with the fabric. Feels like it shouldn't, like you need to readjust it. It's not quite meeting right.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna check the other side. I'm gonna make sure that it's nice and aligned, and then look at the other side.
It looks like a little bit crooked.
Okay, no big deal. I'm gonna straighten it back out on that side, and then I'm gonna go to the other side, and I'm gonna get really careful, and I'm gonna get down, and I'm gonna cut it just right as best as I can.
Give me a task level 2 roll. So it's just a 6. You just gotta get above a 6.
Okay. Yeah, just above a 6.
Yeah, just
I
above
can
a
do
6.
that. 7.
You do it.
Okay. That was close, you guys.
It goes really well. It goes great. You feel like your hand tremor for a second, but then you just take a breath and you snip and it lines up perfectly.
I didn't have my coffee this morning, so I don't have the coffee jitters.
The woman comes around the corner with the tin now full of coffee and sort of starts writing out receipts for the both of you. Coffee, linen, flour, and that's the due. There you go.
Is going to reach into a layer. There's no bag that you can see, but somewhere in the layer there's a pocket apparently, and just start pulling out bundles of twigs and rocks and bones, and eventually a couple of coins.
Perfect. Perfect.
The rest all goes back to
Yeah. Takes out a rag and like like wipes them down because they do have like dirt
Yeah.
crusted on them.
Yeah. Clearly somebody has at some point gave Grauman money for services, and Grauman's like, I don't need this.
Mm.
Save it for coffee day.
Yeah. Little treat.
Nellie's like full arm is in the bag and then like comes out with this tiny little coin purse and takes them out and just places them gently, daintily on the counter.
And it's counted up and you get the receipts and she's gone, all right, see y'all later. Have a good day. Stay warm.
Oh, well, thank you so much, friend. Thank you. You too.
As you sort of both start to move out of the general store, you do knock into someone as someone is coming in, sort of in between you two. It's a woman with like hair. She looks to be like mid-20s, hair in like a braid that's coming out of the braid. There's wisps sort of curling around her face, and she looks a little bit pale. And she has like a older sort of jacket on that's definitely worn. Looks like one of the mining jackets that's probably passed down in the family or something, along with work boots that are also mining gear. And she's sort of muttering into a list. She goes, potato, carrots. Sorry, and sort of moves in between you two. Nellie, you do know a lot of names of people around your age. This girl is a bit older than you, but this is Rosemary Duncan. And she does come from a big family, so this seems pretty characteristic. Sure. But
Yeah.
you don't think you've seen her this sort of flustered before? I don't know. Could be one of those days. I say in a horror game.
That seems perfectly normal and that there's a regular amount of worms.
Damn, that's crazy. Anyway, you two actually start to move down the same path, since this is the path you came down, Grauman, and Nellie, this is the path back to your house, so you do end up sort of falling in line with each other.
Oh, well, isn't that so embarrassing when you say goodbye to someone and then you're both walking in the same direction? You know, whenever I do that, I kind of just start to mumble and start to talk and just keep up conversation so that it doesn't get awkward.
It'll work.
I don't know, honestly. It doesn't seem to be working too well in this situation, but you know, I'm always feeling that's the slightest bit uncomfortable. Not that I'm uncomfortable around you. It's just more of just a general kind of, you know, I want to make sure that I'm being polite and being nice.
Let's can be polite.
Yeah. So Cherry, is that a family name or is that more of just a something that picked your fancy or?
I liked it today.
Oh, so it's not normally your name all the time? That's really exciting and fun. Oh, I should start doing that. I'm Nellie, by the way. And she holds out her hand, but not to shake and not in like a way that looks like it's very formal. It's almost like a it's like she's kind of just holding it out. But doesn't seem as though she wants you to necessarily take it.
Grauman will look at the hand. Is there anything she'd notice?
It's covered with a very nice like white
Just the
glove.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think you want me touching that.
That's quite all right. That's no problem. I know that not everyone's a fan of shaking hands and physical contact and stuff like that, but if that's more your comfort level, then I'm perfectly fine to oblige.
I meant the dirt. And
Oh.
Grauman holds up her hands and like, I mean, she was digging plant roots earlier. Like,
I might have a kerchief or something like that if you want.
there's no
usually-
point. I have to go move a tree.
Oh, wow, you're very strong then.
It's a little one.
Then you're medium strong then.
I mean, mine's her lowest stat, okay?
Same.
2 twigs meet in the woods. You near Nellie's house first as it like splits off towards the side. And you get to the door. Nellie, you realize something right on there's like a rocking chair on this like small, like maybe 6 inches off the ground, of the front of your house. On the chair, usually you know your dad's routine as well. His routine is to like put on his boots outside so that he doesn't track mud in. He usually keeps a lot of his mining supplies like by the door so he can grab them on the way out. You notice sitting on the arm of the rocking chair is his helmet. And normally this is something that he would always take to the mines, obviously. But it seems like something that he's forgotten today. And a thought that enters your mind. Is he safe? In the mines? Without his helmet? But who would take it there?
No, that's a good point. That's a really good point. Okay. It's okay. We can do this. We can do this. Nellie is going to go into the house, very, very carefully to step around the creaky step that always needs to get fixed but never quite does, but she's just gotten used to going around it. And we'll put these stuff neatly away. Okay. Okay. This is fine. This is okay. And I'm gonna go grab some burlap and some ribbons and stuff, and I'm gonna take like a huge armful of these, and I'm gonna grab the helmet on that, and I'm gonna start.
Yeah. You like almost like double bag it in 2 bags of burlap and like tie the top, and it's so secure for a helmet. Nothing's gonna hurt this helmet.
Okay.
As you step out, Grommen, you're like 3 feet away from where
Yeah.
you like started
I was
walking.
gonna ask, how much of Nellie's conversation with herself was out loud? upon
Oh,
seeing the helmet?
probably more than she thought.
Okay.
Definitely.
In which case, Grommen is just standing. Would have just whatever. Like Grommen runs on her own schedule. She doesn't do the labor. She's gonna stand there and watch to see what's happening. Because like Nellie stopped mid sentence and then started talking to herself, and then went in.
Yeah, I think she's gonna do that, and she kind of secures this and turns around and kind of startles to see you. She goes, oh, I'm so sorry. Did I didn't get to say my proper goodbyes. You know, thank you so much for walking and with me and escorting me. This is my house, by the way. I didn't just break into a random house. I promise.
Or, her chin points to the package in your hand.
Oh, yeah, well, my daddy, the foreman, he forgot his helmet, so we gotta go take it to him. Or not we, I mean me, it's the royal we.
Grommen presumably doesn't know Nellie's father, but...
Yeah, you probably wouldn't know like his name at all. You've seen a lot of the faces just like around anyway, so you're not sure. But yeah, he probably works at the mines if she's worried about the helmet.
Yeah. Is it weird to Grommen that somebody would forget their helmet?
I mean, people do forget things.
Okay.
You don't know how much Grommen forgets things, so maybe you would think it would be weird for like, you forgot that?
Yeah.
Come on.
Okay. Bye.
Okay, bye. It was nice to meet you, Cherry.
Right. Bye, Nelly.
Yeah.
Good luck with your tree.
And I'll
Yeah.
Thanks.
Um,
I think Grommel's gonna
Brahmin.
continue out.
Yeah. Brahmin walks away and is like, "Did I make a friend?"
I know. Grommet said
Uh,
someone's name. It was
hmm.
very interesting for them.
Yeah. Uh, you walk back around the curve back up to your house. Um, and as you go, this might coincide just happenstance with Stag approaching your house. It's sort of like the end of the tail of the deliveries and the picking ups of stuff. Um, like
Yeah.
I imagine almost like mid knock, and you are behind her and are like, "Hey."
I think this also like, and you can let me know if this is true or not, but it feels like Ramen would have maybe like a basket or a little situation right outside the cottage that's just for a stag to deliver, like a little parcel delivery like hub.
Corner. There's a corner, and it's got uh like a half a barrel and a couple of cloth sacks, and
Hmm.
it's also probably a really poorly kept, because it's outdoors, 20 like 365 table that possibly um Stag provided. That is also where things Gromman leaves for Stag can be found. So there's like a
Mm.
basket for outgoing mail and incoming.
Incoming mail. I love that. I think you see Stag is in the middle of like picking up the little barrel and like dusting it out, placing it down before putting in your delivery. What would Gromman ask Stag to deliver to her?
uh a lot of like bigger pieces of wood, like
Mm.
for long brewing of things,
Hmm.
because as previously mentioned, Grobin's weakest score is strength. So I mean, you're strong, sure. So there's probably gonna be wood, and I think Gromman has you bring fabric scraps, or like people are if people have worn clothing that they're like tossing out or something, you
Mm.
know that Gromman generally repurposes things, and so
Hmm.
if there's any like fiber or fabric or any kind of other reusable things that she can salvage,
Mm.
you are the person who is related to town that can do that for them.
And you see it. It is a pile of fabric scraps that are, for Stag's appearance, this kind of like rugged hunter. It is packed very neatly. It is tied up with a bit of leather, handmade, and then placed into the little barrel, as well as this huge sort of like strap that they have across their shoulders that they snap open, and you see these like a huge bundle of like wood that they also just like slot vertically upwards uh there. And I think their ears kind of like move in the direction that you arrive in before turning around and looking at you, and it's the same intense, dark look that Stag gives everyone, but you know it still holds some gentleness for you.
And
Elder,
why do you make me go get coffee?
I was hoping you'd drop the habit.
No, I don't. I don't like the tea.
Stag, in a rare moment, a small stag chuckle. Coffee makes your
But
heart race, makes your hands tremble.
how else do you know you're alive?
Breathing. And Stag approaches and points towards the delivery. Your wood and fabric scraps. I tried to get nicer ones.
Want me to make you anything?
Stag like like pushes forward the jacket. This served me well. I need nothing else.
You need a hat.
No, I'm warm enough.
I'm gonna make you a hat. Hold on. And Grommen heads indoors, and you hear some rustling, and then comes out with um like 3 pretty big bags of things, and holds them out to you.
Hmm.
Willow bark
Thank you.
for sleep in the morning, and it's just giant bags of dried leaves, because Grommen doesn't like tea, but
Hmm.
Grommen makes you tea.
And Stag likes tea. It is far better than coffee. I think when you picked up the coffee habit the first time, like Stag smelt it, and you've known Stag long enough, but when you first had coffee, there's a brief glimmer of a look that looked like disapproval. It's the same kind of look of disapproval that Stag shows to the new arrivals in town, these suited men talking
Mm.
about machinery and railways. It's the same, so like,
Or even the hopeful miners who are like 18 and are like, "Oh, well, I'm gonna find my fortune in coal."
yeah, it's the same. It's the same like look of like disdain. Um, and they see all of this tea that's being given to them, and they say, "Thank you, none for you."
I'll drink the willow bark for pain. I don't like it.
Heal. What is the saying? Healer, heal thyself. And they like tie it up and like swing it over their shoulder and look over to you, and they look like they're biting the inside of their lip before deciding to say this. There's more bargains being struck, more than usual. I thought you ought to know, in case visitors come knocking.
Do you have the protection I gave you? And
Stag,
you'll remember that Grommen has probably given you like little bundles of
mhm,
dried herbs to like put in the 4 corners of your home.
mm. Stag nods. I think you might have also given Stag one to carry on her person, and you see it on like held tied by like a thick leather strap on their belt. I have them. I'm
You
less
think it's the
concerned of
cold?
myself. I do not disturb the earth.
You're you're the only smart person here. Then do you, do you think it's the cold that makes it worse?
Winter makes for more desperate.
Well, desperate's better than dead.
Stag just nods and just only like grunts in approval of like, hmm. I thought I'd all warn you nonetheless. They may be desperate, but some may regret the bargain that they have struck, and might seek your wisdom to loosen themselves from the bargain that they have struck. But I know you're more wary than that. But you ought to know nonetheless.
Appreciate it.
Mm.
Someday they'll learn nobody has that power.
Someday. It's been 2 decades, and it's still more the same. How
Well,
many decades has it been for you? Seeing more of the same.
I, I don't count time the way you do.
Of course. I'll take your leave, Elder. And before Stag sets off, looks towards you once more and says, Your next order. Would you like some game?
Yes. You want fruit? I got
Yes.
berries. All
Mm,
right.
thank you.
Stay
And
safe. Gronin
Stag
says
like
that
walks.
despite herself as you're walking away. She can't help it.
Yeah. Stag waves her back to you. And you see her readjust her bow and keep walking into the depths of the forest, unbothered.
Mhm. Uh, and we sort of shift away again, back to Nellie going down the path and quickly not wishing she knew the path to the mines, because it's been a long time. It's been years since you were that small following your dad to work for a day. But
Mhm.
you know the path, and you follow it. It's worn enough. Countless feet go here every day. And you see outside there is some like hustle and bustle of like some people outside organizing and like moving stone out of the way, carting it out, going back in. Um One area that is fairly like quiet is the sort of demolitions office, which is more or less a sort of bench that has been situated out of like stones in the side that have like been rolled and like that are that have been like cut, flattened. It's like a very strange makeshift bench, uh sort of on the side here, um where there looks to be a sort of nondescript sort of person sitting here waiting for, the people to come out and say, "Hey, we need your help with this next load." Um is Baby. Um he-
Um, do we, just by nature, would we know each other at all? Like, no names or?
I think Baby would probably know you. I don't know if you would know Baby, just because it is one of those things that like maybe a year ago someone did come to town with like a photograph, with like a photographer with a big old camera, and your dad and you got a nice portrait, and he does have that with him oftentimes. So like people probably do know what you look like, know what to recognize of you, and like your father talks about you when he does. um but it's a little hard to tell with who stays in the mines, who has left the mine, who is left in the mine. Sort of hard to tell between all the names. So you might, yeah, that's the sort of situation here.
Okay. Um,
But
oh,
this person definitely looks the least busy out of everyone out here.
um, hi there. Hi. Sorry, I was just looking for Foreman Harrison if he's around here anywhere.
I'm assuming to my guide. Assuming
Mm.
that he's inside
He is
the mine.
inside. They're looking to get into like an area they haven't really gone into before. It seemed like really difficult in the past few years, but there's been enough problems with the current tunnels that this is looking more and more appealing to go in this direction.
And
So he's
it's
sort of
not a direct.
organizing people.
Is it a direction I'm excited about them going in, or not excited about them going in?
Um, you're kind of iffy on it. Like, you're kind of waiting for them to ask your opinion to be like, I don't think we should try and go in this direction and try and sort of pivot them in a different way.
Cool, cool, cool. All right.
Thinking of it
Uh,
like they've been going like southwest, and
yeah,
you're looking for them to go back like northwest.
gotcha. Cool, cool, cool. Well, I know he's inside. Is everything all right?
Oh, well, I certainly hope so. I think he seems to have forgotten his helmet this morning, and well, I know that it's incredibly important for safety regulations that be taken care of. So, I'd be more than um happy to wait out here if you want to go in there and go see if he's there. Maybe go get him, or I can find someone to go get him.
Yeah, I'll go grab him if that's what you're looking for.
Oh, thank you so much. You're so kind.
Yeah, no worries. You sure you don't want a tour or anything? I know there's been some
Uh,
upgrades since the last time you were here.
well, I mean, I would, but I've only got the one helmet, and that needs to be reserved for him. And if I were to give him the helmet, I would be wearing it, and then as soon as I take it off, then I'm not safe down there. And you know, safety regulations are very important.
You don't want to ruin your hair either. All right. Yeah, I'll go grab him really quick.
All right.
You head in very quickly, like, from, like, the sound of his voice echoing off the tunnels themselves, like, you could find him that way. Um, you head towards that as he's, like, directing people of, like, "Alright, get the post started right here, there, down there, and then I gotta do something about this blockage. That's the kid I was looking for. Alright, baby, what are we thinking about this?"
Uh, about
Well,
doing some work around
from
here, or
well, yeah, we're looking to go sort of forward and up, sort of around this unless we want to go through. The problem is, from the people who have sort of looked and done sort of surveys here, it seems like there's like a huge blockage here. So we could try and go through, but that would be pretty difficult, or we could try and go around and sort of work around it.
I mean, I didn't have any problem when we were going west, maybe or northwest.
I mean, true, but the part of that stream started leaking into and flooded that tunnel, and then the other tunnel started to become more and more unstable. I don't know, uh, it's a mess.
Uh, you know what? Actually, I have somebody waiting outside for you. Nellie's here.
Nellie's here.
She said you forgot your
What?
helmet at home.
Oh, okay. Oh, I did. Okay. And
Yeah.
he like goes back
Yeah.
through the tunnels, sort of like muttering to himself as well of like, "Oh God, came out all the way here. Here. Oh my God." And sort of walks out and sees you standing there with like basically clutching the burlap.
I think actually, if I'm gonna make one thing in the time that baby has gone and come back, uh, the burlap sacks are actually no longer around the helmet, but around Nellie's arms as she's just kind of holding it like through the
Mm.
burlap.
And you like have the helmet in your hands, and he comes out and goes, "Oh, thank you, Nellie. That. Oh my goodness. Very brave of you to come out here. Did
Well, thanks,
did
Daddy.
you got the linens and flour already?"
Mhm. Yeah, that's all taken care of. But I saw your helmet, and it's very important to wear your helmet down there because what if rocks fell, or what if there was some kind of quake, and then you got stuck down there without your helmet?
Yeah, but that would never happen. We take every precaution, like wearing our helmets. And
Yeah.
he puts it on. um, Sort of goes about and goes, do you need any sort of escort getting back to the house? Are you all right? We're gonna have lunch in about an hour if you want to stick around."
Um. Um. I think I've got a change of clothes. I don't mind. I can wait.
All right. Well, 45 minutes maybe then. Um,
Well,
I'll
it's a
try and
45
finish up.
minutes or an hour.
45 minutes. And
All
he's
right.
I'll be back out, and sort of blows you a kiss and goes back in. And baby, do you stay here or do you go back in with him?
Part of me is like, oh, if I don't go back in the mine. we won't push forward into that tunnel. Little
Mm.
procrastinating. Uh, I don't know. Yeah, I'll pro. Are you? Uh, Baby's gonna look over at Nelly. You all right waiting here by yourself, or?
I think does a little like pat on the like legs as she sits down with her burlap covered
Mm.
arms and said, "Oh, I'm quite all right. I was wondering if there was a ladies anywhere around here."
Like the bathroom?
Yeah, yeah. Just a quick place to wash up.
No, no, there's not. I could get you some water.
Oh, that would be great. I don't mean to disrupt you from your work, but if you have any to spare, that would be mighty
Yeah,
useful.
yeah. I don't know if the burlap on your hands is helping you stay clean though. Uh,
I think so. I think it is. It's protecting me from the debris and the soot and the, all the dirt and stuff.
I'll go get you that water.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, I'm assuming there's maybe a
Yeah, there's like maybe like
yeah.
once every 2 weeks, there's like a barrel that's like emptied out and then like the rainwater collects again in it. It's probably warm enough now that like it has defrosted. So it is like fairly clean.
I'll give her what we got.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Do you
Is
mind if
this
I?
to drink or to wash?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I think it's to wash is what I was
Okay. Then
assuming.
yeah, that's
So
probably fine to wash.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll bring her a bucket of water. I don't
This
know
is
what to do.
wonderful. No,
Oh, okay.
this is
Yeah, yeah.
perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm Nellie, by the way. I don't know if I introduced myself.
Yeah, I know who you are. You're the foreman's kid, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yes, I did bring him his helmet. That would make sense.
Yeah. You've also been here before. Wi-
Yes, yeah, yeah. A couple of years ago, I know I don't come down here too often, and it's not because I don't want to be around all the miners in their delightful company. It's just um, it's a little dirty down here sometimes.
Yeah, you don't really forget somebody wearing what you're wearing. Uh, Down here in the mines. Not that it's bad or anything. It's just you know, pink gets dirtier than brown. uh,
Yeah.
Anyway, do you what do you what are you up to?
Oh, well, I heard that you all were gonna have lunch in about 45 minutes, or I guess it would be 43 now. Um, but so I was just gonna stick around for a bit. That's what the water's for. I'm gonna make sure to wash up, and I've got a change of clothes that I can make sure to wear. And get to stick around, to, push boundaries and meet people.
Yeah, well, I guess you met me.
Oh yeah, what's your name, by the way?
Uh, well, I go by baby.
Oh, well, it's nice to meet you, baby.
It's nice to re-meet you, Nelly. Do you need some privacy to change, or
Oh,
should I
um,
should I?
I'll be
Uh,
okay. I can probably just if there isn't a washroom or anything around here, I can probably just pop in for a few minutes, make sure the door's nice and shut.
oh, okay. Um, Baby has no idea what to do with
Yeah.
I
somebody
have that effect on
in a
people.
formal setting at all. Um, Baby was raised by miners, and that's not Nelly. Uh, well, all right. The longest silence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You sort of start looking around. It starts to sort of perk in your head of like, oh well, if I'm not the only the other one talking in this conversation, then I could rope someone else into the conversation,
I, bet- 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 I, bet
So you sort of like look around the yard. You can see like a lot of friends. Like there's classic Isaac, Klaus. You do see Leo sort of looking like he's taking a break, like dipping a rag and like putting it over his face to like wash off some of the dust. Um, yeah. Do you want to
Leo
call
loves
out to
talking.
Leo loves talking, famously.
Leo loves talking,
Um,
famously. Yeah, I'll call him over.
you like wave him over and Leo looks up and is like, "Oh," and he comes over. He's like mostly grimy, and as he like wipes off his face, you couldn't really like see it much um when you were walking down this morning, just from like the early morning light, and it was still pretty dark. But like, and as he wipes off with like this rag a lot of the dust that's accumulated over the last few hours, there is still, it looks like there's still like shadows under his eyes. It looks like his cheeks are like a little sunken in as well. And he just looks a lot more he looks like he's already been here for a full day's work than like the 2.5, maybe 3 hours that it has been. And he
Yeah.
goes,
Um,
"Hey, what's up?" No, that's not period accurate. Hey.
what's up?
Hey, dog.
uh, ooh. So, everything all right in there?
Yeah. Did you get a wife or something? Who? Hi.
No,
Hello?
no. This is uh, no. This is my friend my friend Nellie.
Oh,
She's the foreman's
Nelly?
daughter. Nellie, yeah.
Oh. Sorry, I did not recognize you. Hi. Lovely to meet you.
Hi,
That's my
lovely
friend
to meet you
Leo.
too. Hi, Leo. Hi, it's a
Hi.
pleasure.
Yeah, he like puts out his hand and then sees that like you have like the
I'm wearing the
burlap on your
burlap, so I'll
Yeah.
put out my hand too.
You read like fashion magazines?
Um. Oh well. Sometimes there's some nice ads in the periodicals and stuff like that. Sometimes I like to make my own clothes.
That's incredible. Yeah, my mama used to make clothes, like our clothes and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
I learned like a few things, but I'm nothing. I don't know my way around a pair of pants. A shirt
Oh.
I can handle.
Well, it is a skill that can definitely be fostered, and if you ever had any interest, I'd be more than happy to help you around with a few things. Show you some mending. It would probably help a lot with people in the mines to know a little bit of sewing.
Yeah, I mean, we can put our jackets back together, but that's about most of what we can do.
Well,
Huh.
pants are very similar. It's just that they're on the bottom instead of the top.
Yeah. Sometimes you need room. Shouldn't have said that. So are you sticking around for lunch?
I was planning to if it's not an imposition.
Okay, yeah. That that'll be nice. W- it's been a while since you've been here at the mines. You just any particular thing bringing you here?
Um, just well, the foreman he forgot his helmet this morning, and it's really really important. As the
Yeah.
foreman, he needs to be showing stellar exemplary
Yeah, of
behaviors
course.
to. And if he forgets his helmet, well, then other people will think that it's okay for them to forget their helmet, and then if something happens, everyone gets hurt, and then it's all my fault
Yeah.
because
I mean,
I didn't
what?
help him get his helmet. So,
Oh.
No.
Well, I don't
if you think about it.
if you took it to the extreme maximum of everything.
Then no. I mean, it'd be all of our. I mean, if we didn't give him a helmet, if we didn't have any spares or something, then maybe. I mean, no.
Oh,
Yeah, all around
it
no.
just dominoes. I don't know if dominoes were created at this point. That's
Feels
just me.
right. Feels
Probably.
right.
Yeah.
Just like Jack's.
It's
You know,
pieces of wood with some
soda
dots on
fountain.
it. It's fine.
Yeah. I mean, Okay.
They were made in the 1300s. We're fine.
Let's
Oh,
go.
Nice. Just like dominoes.
just like Dom.
Classic Dominoes. Oh,
Um,
wow. Yeah, and you like chat a little longer, and the more you look at him, baby, the more you're like noticing this sort of like tiredness seep in on him that you know is not
Yeah.
natural. And Nellie,
Yeah,
you
I know.
sort of notice that as well, but you notice one more thing as he's like saying goodbye to go like finish like washing up and everything. He like rubs the rag around him. You notice something that looks almost like the shadow of something wriggling. It goes and follows on his hand as he's
Hate
like
it. Hate
wiping,
it.
and it
I'm out.
wriggles down and it sinks in, but you can still see the shadow moving along his arm as he walks
Um,
away.
Um,
And then we'll go to break.
What?
I'm sorry, what? I thought we promised no worms.
welcome back to the horrors. Um, where we just left, Leo walked away from the conversation, and as he left, um, Baby noticed just how tired and like exhausted he's starting to look. And Nellie noticed a shadow of something wriggle underneath his arm and move along his skin further down. But he walked away.
Oh, okay.
So.
Um, um hey, baby. I was just wondering how often do minors tend to bathe or take showers and stuff like that?
Do I smell really bad?
No. I mean, I'm sure you smell fine. It's just more of a question.
You know, I have a place to stay at night, so usually I bathe twice a week. It's usually what Mama Renee makes me do.
Oh,
So
okay. Just just
regular.
That's okay. Yeah. I would just maybe make sure that Leo gets one tonight. There was a did you see what that did you see that?
Daddy looks really tired. I mean, he's got some people in his family who are sick. He said he didn't get a lot of sleep last night, so yeah, he looks
Okay.
a little tired.
Okay, you didn't see that wriggling thing?
Like a vein.
Uh, like a small snake or a
Hmm.
I'm trying to think of anything that's not a word.
Like something small in the ground that would
like something
wiggle.
small in the ground seems to wriggle around in the
How do you
dirt
say,
a lot.
a caterpillar?
Maybe like a centipede, but without any feet.
Like a Ooh, I can think of something worse. Like a leech.
Ooh. Oh no. Oh no.
Baby,
No,
go ahead and roll with a difficulty of 3. So you have to get past a 9. And you can spend any in your pool. Try and lower it. Probably intellect, I'd say, to lower it.
okay, yeah. I'll spend let's do 4 to make it a 5.
Well,
Or is
no,
that a
that'll
lot?
lower it to 0, so you'll see it
Oh,
automatically.
yeah.
You wanna
I'll
do
do
that?
that
Yeah?
then. Yeah.
You do that. You sort of have a moment of like looking into Nellie's eyes as she's like sort of flitting about and like looking back between Leo, back to you, back. And you follow where she's looking as you see like Leo like go back to Scratch, and you see something wriggle, pop out, and go back in, like a shadow of something for a second. But
Yeah.
you think it's really hard to get yourself to believe you imagined that.
Yeah. Nelly, I'm really sorry. I'm gonna have to talk to Leo really quick, if you don't mind.
Yeah, no problem. I'm gonna take this very nice bucket of water and wash up.
All right. Yeah, baby's gonna walk up behind Leo and grab the back of his shirt and pull him a little bit before he gets to the rest of his friends.
Whoa! Okay. Hello?
What the hell are you doing?
I thought I'd finish washing up. There's a pretty girl in the mines. I thought maybe, hey.
Yeah, and you're lucky she's not looking right now. So
Huh?
Leo,
Oh.
you are doing something kind of stupid. Why you? Did you visit? Did you visit?
Listen, it's he's
You're
not
putting us
gonna
all
get
in
better.
danger? No, he's not gonna get better. That's how it is.
He's all I have.
All right. Well, guess what? You're putting every other person here who only has a couple other people in danger too. How about that?
No, it's just me.
You is there any way I can show him what I saw on him? Like grab his arm? Or
Um,
no?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Okay. That's fine. Uh
I don't
you
I
get
don't think there is. You're not sure what's making these things appear on him
Yeah, yeah,
as
yeah.
he is. You're not sure if it's a part of him now or something attached to him.
Yeah. Well, Leo, you getting sicker and sicker is not going to help us and the mine stay safe. Even if you want to go play with whatever you want to go play with at the tree, you're putting all of us in danger
It's sick of
by
you to
giving
think
up
that
whatever
I'm
you've
just
given up.
playing.
So now you're sick too. Now you're
No,
sick. He's sick.
I'm tired. That's it. I'm tired. I haven't slept for 2 days. The
At
cold
all?
is really intense. I maybe a few minutes here and there, it's hard to tell, but I don't know. It you know, sometimes when you're in the mines, does it ever feel like you're not alone?
Yeah. Yeah. All the time.
I don't I don't mean other people. I mean something else.
Sometimes.
Like I've heard it once or twice before. In like 5 years I've been working here. I've heard it constantly the past 3 days. Keeps I and as he's like looking at you and trying to find the words, you see just like a like glassy sheen go over him for a second of just like staring into the distance. And he's like, I can hear it. It's not just a voice, it's like a hum.
Leo, you know I care about you a lot as a friend,
Yeah,
but I'm gonna need you to stay away from me and my family for a little bit.
I understand.
I just I hope everything goes well for you. I hope you don't regret it.
I hope so too. I'm sorry for what it's worth, but I don't think I regret it. Not yet.
I hope it stays that way. And I'm gonna turn around and go over back to Nellie.
Similar to the makeup that she puts on every morning, there's a single moment when she is, before she realizes that you've turned back around, that there's just this look of just intense concentration and just fear just for a single moment as she finishes cleaning. And then I think seeing that you've turned around, she just very quickly just complete mask. Oh, well, I am so glad that we got to take that moment to wash up. I so did you see what I was talking about at all?
Baby's still, you can tell, is just like a little bit amped up from the high pressure conversation, and goes to grab Nellie's arm and then brings the hand back because I don't want to get her dress dirty.
Thank you.
Uh, you, keep your distance from Leo for a while. I know that you don't come around here often, but you know, uh, I don't want. We already get close enough to messing with everything, doing what we do. Uh, I don't want you near that if you don't have to be.
Okay. No, that's no problem. Just stay away from Leo. I can do that. And she'll
Yeah.
do the tap head thing that I just did.
Yep. Guess it's gonna be lunchtime soon. Is there anything you need to
You know,
before that besides the cleaning? Or-
I think I'm quite all right. I'm starting to get a little tired, and I'm not exactly too hungry anymore. I might start to make my way back. Yeah, I don't know. It's starting to get a little dusty around here, and there's no washroom,
I'm
so I
sorry if I
can't
made
find.
you uncomfortable with
No, no, no,
everything.
no,
I
no,
didn't
no,
mean to do that in front of
no,
you.
no, 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 baby, you're fine. It I think I don't know. That just the wriggling. It unnerved me, and
Yeah.
I think
Do you need someone to help you home? I mean, you got here good enough on your own. I don't want to say you couldn't do it yourself, but do you need a
well,
escort or it's a little bit
I
later in
I
the day, so I don't.
I wouldn't say no to some company, but you're busy at work. I wouldn't want to pull you away, and lunch is gonna be soon. So
If I'm being honest, I don't really want to do the work they're asking me to do today. So I'd love an excuse
I
to
will
step
be
away for a
that
little bit.
excuse then.
All right. I'll let your dad know that I'm taking you home so he knows where we're at. Cool.
Okay, I will.
Sorry. Cool is
wait
also
here.
not.
Yeah.
Cool.
Excellent.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, I'll go let the foreman know that I'm walking Nellie home.
Yeah. He is very appreciative, not even like more focused on like, right, get Nelly home safe. Get back when you get back. Sort of focus on the other things that need to get ready just in case they start moving this direction. And you sort of head off. Nelly, roll like a level. No, I'm just gonna give this to you. As you're thinking,
I can roll. I can roll. I can do
you
it.
can
Tell
roll.
me what
You
you want
want
me
to
to
do it,
roll.
champ? All right.
I can
Well,
do
just
it.
level 2. You just roll the d20. You're trying to get above a 6,
Okay.
unless you want to spend anything, and then just get it automatically.
If I. No, what? No, I'm rolling. I'm rolling. I don't care. We're gonna get above a 6, and it's
Chat, did
fine.
you hear?
15.
Chat.
15.
Holy shit, chat! Did you see it? I just started talking like a fast talking radio host. Oh my god, they got it. You, as you are working through these different paths of like, what do I need to do? What can I do? What can be done? How to fix this? And just doing things, and honestly, probably like talking out loud a bit. But this is a bit internal of like, okay, what other protections can I do besides doing the things that keep me safe? Well, they talk about like a witchy woman in the woods. Maybe I can ask my friend Cherry about it.
That's a really good idea. That's a really good
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
I'll probably say that to baby. I met just the loveliest person today. Their name is Cherry. One of my new good friends. Very, very, very nice person. I know that she's a bit busy with a tree right now, but she said that it's kind of a smaller tree, so you can probably go see maybe if they know anything about where we're going for that.
I mean, I told the foreman that I'd be taking you home. I don't really want to
Oh,
lie to
great
him.
news actually, because we were walking in the same direction, and it seems like it's on the way. So we can just go home, and then we can just go maybe a little bit further than that.
Oh, you know what? Kind of sounds like that'd be something you'd do if I was there or I wasn't there. So I think I'd rather be there for that one.
Oh, well, that's so kind of you. You really don't have to if you don't want to.
No, I'll make sure. I mean, if you don't get home safe, it's on me. So yeah, let's
Alright.
let's go.
You
So
So where'd you
walk
get the
Carrie is
name
there.
baby
Ooh,
from?
oh, ah.
uh I it was kind of given to me. Uh
Oh,
when I was really young, I appeared at the mines one day, and everyone just kind of takes care of me. Hmm.
I have a question. Did
Mhm.
you name the canary adult?
No, Canary's name is Lemon Cake.
That's cute.
You'll
I just
meet
thought
Lemon
it'd be
Cake one
funny
day.
that you were named baby and you were like, I named this canary adult.
Probably named Bird. Uh, but yeah, I just appeared one day, and I'm kind of all their baby. So just kind of stuck. So I'm baby. Uh, so how'd you get the name Nelly?
oh, well, my full name's Avenel, and when I was little, it was difficult for me to say that and let alone spell it, so we decided to shorten it a little bit when I was in school. You know, Nelly is only 5 letters, and Avenel is like eight.
It's a
Eight.
lot shorter.
It is. It's exactly half. Or no, it's not. I'm sorry. My numbers aren't quite right.
Uh, so this person that you met, uh, they're a
Cherry,
lumberjack.
yeah.
They're a lumberjack.
Oh, you know, we talked quite a bit, but I didn't get too much of an occupation. She did buy coffee though, and I don't know much about lumberjacking, but you probably need some kind of energy, so maybe.
All right,
And
let's go
cherry
meet.
is a kind of wood.
That would make sense. Let's go meet your
As you're
lumberjack friend.
as you're walking through and having this conversation, Stag, you hear this loud conversation. um two people not too concerned about like hunting or anything. Um I think you might be looking for like I think there might have been a stag around here that you've been
Mm-hmm.
trying to track for the past few days, but it has been very cold, so it hasn't had much success. But
Mm-hmm.
as you're walking through and having these two very much scare off any game, um, but also overhearing bits of like friend Cherry and not sure if you put things together, but they are walking towards Grauman's house. Um, do you do anything, or do you just watch them go? Do you follow? Do you
I think
judge?
I think there's something like Stag probably was like tracking a stag, but what happened was obviously it's too cold, the stag's probably not here, but they found like a like snow white rabbit, and they pulled out an arrow, knocked it on their bow, and they were about to release it from their grip when they overhear this conversation. The rabbit perks its ears up and then runs off. Then Stag lowers the bow, hears this conversation, and hears like bits and pieces of it, but enough. I think Stag would put things together of probably incorrectly. Stag would assume that these are some young folk who are about to go visit the elder, and this is exactly what she was afraid of, that there were going to be visitors and potentially someone asking for a bargain to be reversed. So she quickly puts the arrow back into her quiver, spins the hunting bow around onto her body and her torso, and starts very quiet. I think it's fair for me to assume that Stag would know a faster way back to the cabin.
Probably. Yeah. Like you're also like I think probably dexterous enough to like get across the snow
Hmm.
in like the path that you know that like it's not like really pulling any muscles for you to get
Yeah.
there even a little quicker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's Stag's priority because Best case scenario, they're just folks looking for some healing or some advice. Worst case scenario, they're trying to find a way out of a bargain they have struck, and that usually spells out trouble for them, sometimes to the people around them.
Mm.
And Stag is not about that. I think Stag does grumpily pull out like a bit of summer sausage that they had in their little pack and like starts cutting a little piece to like snack on as they walk up to the cabin.
Uh, you don't get there. Well, before that happens, Grommen, you hear a knock on your door.
Who is? Without opening.
A potential friend.
No.
You haven't even heard of the offer.
Don't want it.
You might need it.
Would it be safe to presume that Grommen's door might have some, like, holes in it?
Probably. It might not be perfectly fitted, like, to the top or
Yeah.
bottom.
And I
Yeah.
was thinking, like, if it's, like, actual, like, vertical slats
Oh.
of wood, they might have, like, rotted a little
Oh,
bit.
yeah.
Grommen is not going to open it, but Grommen is going to peer out to see
It's
what
almost
this
like
person's wearing.
like the sun is sort of like backlighting them a little bit, so it's kind of hard to see at first. It's just like a shadow of a person. But after a second of your eyes adjusting, looking through, you see an eye meeting yours that slowly reveals a man in a very sharp dressed suit. No coat to be seen, just sharp, like lined vertically, like double-breasted suit. A hat in his hands held to his chest, and hair almost like gelled down, dark black, with a bushy mustache and a wide smile.
But Grommen says, "You can say what you need to say from out there."
Well, ma'am, we know you're in charge around here, of course. We're looking to lease the land, if you will.
The land ain't mine to lease.
Well, yes, but you are a steward.
Yeah. I take care of it. And it takes care of me.
Well, I think you've been doing it for quite a while, and I would say you deserve a vacation, so.
What's a vacation?
Time for rest.
Don't need rest.
Everyone needs rest.
Only if they're living wrong.
And isn't it incredible how many do?
What do you want?
Oh, well, I told you we're looking to lease the land. You see, there's a railroad that's going to come through this mountain pretty soon. And we wouldn't want to disturb any folks or any presence.
Oh, well. If you don't want to disturb any presences, let's take that railroad elsewhere.
Unfortunate. I
It
don't
will
think
be.
we can.
You will.
Yes, it will. Oh, yes, it will.
Alright. Sounds like you don't need me.
How unfortunate for you. And
We'll
he
see.
turns and slowly steps down and moves down the path as you see him go.
We'll see who's gonna be scared.
We'll fucking see, dude.
You want to fight the mountain?
Dog, mark my worms.
Listen, Grommen just starts like, you just hear angry snapping of like things in the hut. not fingers. We're about to break into song, y'all.
So glad the reaction to the railroad man was what just happened. Ooh, gross.
Sorry,
Get
bro.
this guy out of here.
It's good. It's about to suck to be you.
Yeah. Just the back and forth of like one-liner, no, one-liner at you. No. No, you. He moves along down the path. And farther along, I think he does pass Nelly and Baby as he moves along. He's got like he's also got a cane in his hand, looks like, and he has the hat low on his of course it's a bowler hat. Classic.
Evil.
Evil.
Evil activities.
And
Never
as he
trust a
walks
bowler hat.
yeah, as he walks it's just the bowler hat guy from Meet the Robinsons actually.
That's what I'm picturing.
He looks and meets Nellie's eyes for a second, and you just see this deep darkness. You could swear there's just pupil, no iris. As he walks past, and he gives a little nod and keeps going down the path, and you just feel the chill out here. Seep a little closer. Pull your coat tighter.
Ooh. You know, there is something very nice to be said about people who dress nice, but if people dress too nice, well, usually it means that they're trying to distract you from whatever's behind it.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Whew. Well, I mean, this is in the middle of the woods, so I would assume that a lumberjack would be living around here. Cherry, you out here?
And as Stag approaches eating bits of summer sausage to then come to the door, do you knock or do you just open? Oh,
I know better than to just enter unannounced, I think. I think Stag doesn't knock at the door like a normal person. Stag, I think, just like smacks the post a couple times to let you know that they're here.
The door opens probably faster than you've seen it open in a while.
Mm-hmm.
But Gromit also recognizes the post clacking. So
Only one person on Earth would do this.
Yeah, they immediately open the door and they say, "That railroad man still here?"
Railroad man. Do I see? Because I think I came from a different path. Did I catch a whiff?
I don't know if you caught a whiff. I think it might have been you were tracking something else. You weren't thinking of that.
You see that Stag kind of like looks out into the distance, shakes their head. No, I was actually tracking someone else headed this direction. 2 young ones. I thought that it might be something related to what we discussed this morning. So I came. Did
Inside.
the railroad man disturb you?
Gromit says, "Get inside," and once you're inside, we'll close the door again. And I say, "Yeah, they wanted to lease the land. Like the land can be leased."
Fools. Would it be fair, guide, for me to have maybe heard this movement in other parts as
Of the railroad man?
Yeah, of like of people asking for their land to be leased.
I think you have heard like the rustle, like been tracking different things in the woods and have seen like certain things disturbed, and like there is a certain whiff in the air of like crude oil that like it like settles on your tongue in a way that you're like, oh, this is something else. I think you have in the past few days especially felt that.
Explains why the forest smells different. The air, too.
Have you heard of what they tried? It, he sounded like he wanted to fight the mountain.
Just the smell of oil in the air and some whispers of their movement among the townsfolk, nothing more. But
They're
I
gonna
can
lose the
keep a
fight.
close but I can keep a closer eye.
Do that. They're gonna lose the fight, and people are gonna get hurt.
You and I know that, but there's so many who don't. Even those who live here for so long.
All mine of them.
Hmm. You see Stag, like look amongst your things for a while. Does Grommen hold any weaponry here other than maybe knives and tools?
Uh, yes. On the wall, you see there is a light crossbow, which you probably gave Grommen at some point. Let's be real. Besides that, it's daggers, animal traps, things like
Hmm.
that, and a lot of herbs. Just like every beam has different bunches and bundles of herbs drying on them.
Hmm. Stag looks around, sees the crossbow, and then just mutters, I ought to bring you another bundle of arrows, of bolts.
You're a better hunter than me. I don't
I
really need
can't
them.
I can't always be here, Elder.
You don't need weapons to protect myself. But thank you.
Hmm. Just kind of like grunts in agreement and leans and is like staring at the door, waiting for these two youngins to come knocking because they're certain they're close by.
Yeah.
That is good.
Real, real loud ones, this one. Good luck.
What if
I
I
think you just hear
didn't
in the
answer?
distance.
Yeah. Gromit looks at Stag and says, "What if I didn't answer?"
She's gonna keep calling like that until you do.
Opens the door. Just goes, "What?"
Oh, did you hear that? I think that was Cherry.
It's
Sounds
like
really
just
nice.
around the corner from you.
Oh,
I'll follow you.
Oh, well, Cherry, it is so good to see you out here. We were trying to figure out where a lumberjack might live, and so I guess in the woods makes the most sense.
Not a lumberjack.
Stag looks at you so curiously of how of how you'd be described as a
And then eventually Gromit points the thumb over her shoulder to Stag. Who you then see like, maybe actual lumberjack.
Hi.
Hmm.
Um, Guide, what time of day is
Mm.
it?
It's probably around noon.
Okay. Okay. Oh, this is hi, I'm Nelly. This is, well, I don't know if you want me to introduce you or if you wanted to have the pleasure of doing that.
I'm baby.
Um, can we come in and talk to you?
Huh. The stag looks at you. You're the one who owns this house.
Grommen's quiet for an uncomfortably long pause and then just says, "Only because it's cold."
Oh, thank you so much. It is quite cold out here.
Stag, I think, was like leaning on a wooden table that has like a bunch of like dry herbs on it. Stands up and looks to you, Gromit, and it's just like, I can make something quick and hot now. If you'd like.
See? There's
Uh,
there's tea too.
You see, Stag gives you a rare dirty look before going over to
Well, that
your
was a
hot
rare joke from Gromit.
a hot stove and like puts on the kettle and sets it to boil and then leans back in a chair and starts cutting up little slices of summer sausage and like off of the blade of the knife, like taking bites of it and watching you both trickle in, and then looks at both of you. Would I have been familiar with Nelly and or Baby? I probably made deliveries to
Um,
them.
yeah, honestly, you probably have recognized Baby of like you've delivered to Renee and Daryl before.
Mm.
Um, uh, you don't know if you've really seen Nellie that many times. Usually you're
Mm.
delivering to her dad, but like you do recognize like the sort of things on her, like the gloves. You've literally like I think you remember getting those delivered to her.
Mm. Yeah, I think Stag looks over you, Nelly, and they kind of like feel against the stubble of their shaved head and say, "You're the foreman's girl, aren't you?"
Wait, did you say sorry, did you say you're looking like over Nelly or like over Nelly?
Uh, no, like over, like gazing over you, like
Okay.
sizing you up.
Okay. Two very different reactions depending.
Looking behind you. You're Nellie.
No, literally like what? Um she- um yeah, hi, sorry, I'm Nelly. And does the hand thing.
Stag looks at the hand thing as a person who doesn't really shake hands.
Not
And
comfortable with physical touch. I completely understand. I will come to your comfort level.
right. Nice to see you. And looks over to Baby and it's just like, so what brings the both of you here?
Well, to be honest, Nelly really wanted to come visit our friend Cherry. Uh, we, I don't know exactly how this is your guys' problem. I have a friend named Leo who,
I'll say you probably summarized this a bit.
yeah,
And
Mm.
Gromit, this sounds to you like two separate things. Because in like the years of like the bargains that you've seen play out or heard about, it's never been like, oh yeah, classic, this guy was eaten by shadow worms.
Yeah.
Like the exhaustion, that does sound like the tree and its bargains. The shadows sound like something from the mine.
Mm.
So this sounds like maybe a problem that is quite unique, but might be something that will need to be solved. Maybe in a timely manner.
Yeah.
And I do think with that, we're gonna end the session tonight.
Ooh.
Hey.
Y'all, we have a mystery.
Hee 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 hee.
the mystery
Sure
of the
hope
shadow worms.
the shadow worms and the lumps in the soil and the lullaby that comes from beneath. Who could have seen that coming? Okay.
Oh my god.
We'll do a quick round. Hi, I'm Faye, Gothic Fairy or Gothic Fairy cosplay. I just realized I never said my pronouns at the beginning. She, they. Hey, y'all. And I'll toss it to Haley.
I also didn't say my pronouns. My name's Haley. I'm Haley Rosie on everything. I go by they, she pronouns. I'm scared about the worms. I'm not excited about the worms. So
Seems like a you
anyway,
problem.
I'll pass it to Kit.
Hey, I'm Kit. I also didn't say my pronouns. They, them, or whatever you want to do. I'm Kit Wells or Kit S. Wells everywhere, and dare I say, not enough worms.
You heard it. You heard it.
I will pass this to Pooja.
I'm still Pooja. Pooja or Pajabberwocky everywhere. I did say my pronouns before. But let's see. What am I? I'm excited about a mystery, and I think Gromman wants to fist fight a shadow worm.
I want to see it.
I'll make it happen.
Yay!
And Val.
And Val.
Hello, everyone. My name is Valiant Dorian. I use him, his pronouns. You can find me all around the internet at Valiant Dorian and also Spirit Bear. Please enjoy that lovely treasure hunt I set you on. Tonight, a distinct pleasure of playing your very, very normal hunter Stag, who uses she, they pronouns, and is relieved to hear that these two specific youngins were not as foolish as they thought they were. So that is a huge relief. There was definitely a moment there where Stag looked at Baby and was just like, I expected better from you. And then realized you didn't do the bargain and was like, oh, it's your friend. Okay. Need to keep better company, but okay.
Was that not suspicious? Someone calling themselves Gromman's friend?
And that's me. I'm passing it back
so
to
much
our
more
guide.
sus.
Yeah, and a shout out to the benevolent being who's hosting us on this channel, Madaloon. Maddie, the voice of God, who actually can't be heard except for just by us, so teehee. We will be here every Thursday this month of February. Stay tuned. We're gonna find out some stuff about worms and darkness.
Worm?
Worm?
A worm?
Oh, worm. But
Worm.
A worm.
we'll see you next week. Bye.